DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. And this is a question that I get asked often by players who are in high school. They want to get recruited to college, or they want to play in college. Maybe not necessarily recruited, but you want to play in college, and they want to get more exposure, or they want to get the attention of some coaches. What can they do? Now, I've answered this question in a more general scope by telling players, if you want to get more exposure, you got to improve your game. You got to improve your performance to actually get seen. But this video will be more a detail, more of a technical aspect, more of a how-to of how you can actually get the attention of a coach, or get a coach to say, okay, let me take a look at this player. Maybe you can come try out for the team. Maybe you can walk on, possibly get yourself looked at by one of the assistants or the head coach, maybe get a scholarship offer. These are the things that you should do. Now, full disclosure, to give you a background on myself, I did not get recruited out of high school. I barely played in high school. I only played 1 year, rode the bench the 1 year that I did play on the team. I walked on to college. But if I was in high school right now and I wanted to market and promote myself to get seen, or if I was a parent and I had a son who's in high school about to graduate and I wanted to market and promote my son to get seen for high school, this is what I would do. First of all, for all you players out there, you want to play in college, you got to first of all narrow down what schools you want to play for. There are hundreds of colleges in America with basketball teams. Might be thousands of colleges, I don't even know. But there are a lot of them. So you can't just say, I want to play in college, and I say, where you want to play? You say any college. That's not good enough. You got to narrow it down to which schools you're interested in, because what you're going to do is actually contact these schools, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But you can't contact all 1,000 schools in the NCAA. You got to contact, or NCAA, NAIA, the junior colleges, whatever school you're trying to go to. You can't contact all of them. You got to figure out which schools you want to go to. So first of all, figure that out. I can't make a video telling you what school to pick. You choose based on where you live, how much money it is you're going to spend or have available to spend, if you got to pay for college, if you have any grants, scholarships, or financial aid, if you got any other family situations, you need to be near family, far away from family, close to family, want to go to school where somebody else is going to school, what majors they offer, what you think you might want to do after you get out of school, whether that be play basketball or what you want to do with your degree, whatever degree you get. Because eventually you might use that, because basketball is not for the rest of your life, of course. So you got to figure out what school you want to go to. Secondly, once you figure out what school you want to go to, here's what you need to do. You need to, first of all, take a look at the team that they have. Take a look at not necessarily the players. Maybe if you know a player on the team, then maybe that could just be your one way in right there. That's just one step. Just ask that player to put in a word for you. Maybe that'll work. But let's just assume you don't know anybody on the team. Look at the coaching staff. Find out who the coach is. Look at who the assistant coaches are. Because what I know, I have several friends who are coaches in college basketball, either head coaches or assistant coaches. And the assistant coaches are usually the guys that handle a lot of the recruiting, at least the initial recruiting, to actually find a player, say, oh, here's a player that we didn't know about before, we know about him now. That's usually the assistant coach who unearths a player that the school beforehand didn't know about that guy. Even guys like Michael Jordan, even LeBron James, the assistant coaches of teams found out about these guys first. Then the head coach might have jumped on it when he realized, all right, this is a guy I really got to get. Let me go take care of that. So first of all, look at who the assistant coaches are. On every college school's website, most college schools, they have the basketball team section listed, and they have the coaches, and they have contact information for those coaches. So even if you don't see that, all you got to do is you can contact just the school's main office and say, hey, I'm trying to get in coach with the basketball coaching staff. Can you give me the email address and or phone number of, and then you name the person whom you want. Don't just say anybody, because then you're gonna sound spammy. It's like you just reaching out, just trying to get anybody's attention. Ask for someone specifically so you sound like you know what you're doing. So if there's a coach there named Mike Smith, call the school. If you just call XYZ University and Mike Smith's the assistant coach, you call and say, hey, hello, I'm looking to get in touch with assistant basketball coach Mike Smith. Could you give me his phone number and or email address, please, or connect me to his office? And they'll do it. They'll give you their at least email address. People might not always give out the phone numbers if they're not listed on the website, but people don't see any harm in giving out an email address, because worst case, you email somebody and they don't want to talk to you, they just don't reply to your email, they just delete it and it's over. So first of all, find out who the assistant coaches are. and you want to reach out to one of the assistant coaches. And what I found, and this is just simple logic once you learn a little bit about how colleges work, the coach says that basically the way the coaches are listed on the website are in terms of hierarchy. So the top assistant coach would be listed first on the list of assistants, or right under the head coach. Then the next guy, the next guy, the next guy. So the guy who's on the bottom of the ladder, the bottom rung of the ladder, he's the lowest. He has the lowest amount of clout of all the assistant coaches. And that guy also probably has to do the most work. And that guy also is another thing that matters to you. That's the most available individual on the coaching staff. He's the one that's easiest to reach out to because he's the one that's most open to taking that contact. And he's the one who takes the contacts just from random people, because you never know who might just stumble across a certain college who might actually be a good player. So they got to make sure they keep their doors open for that, and that goes to that guy at the bottom rung of the ladder. So that might be your first contact, that bottom level assistant coach. Get in touch with that guy and say, hey, here's who I am. Oh, actually, we'll get into that. That'll be the next step. So first of all, figure out what school you want to go to. Look at the coaching staff. Find the coach that you want to target. So you need to target individual people, not just the school itself, not just college in general, but an individual person. Because what you need to do, all you players out there, especially you high schoolers, you need to build a relationship with this person. Because once they see that you're a good player, you need to build a relationship. The reason being is that college basketball is a buyer's market. For those of you who don't know what a buyer's market means, that means that the buyer has the power. A seller's market means the seller has the power. Now, I'll explain real simply what that means. A buyer's market means there are more people trying to sell to the buyers than there are buyers trying to buy things. So if there are 10 people, if you go to a store, right, and there are 10 people with money trying to buy something out that store, but there are 100 people selling things in the store, who has the power? The buyer, because the buyer has 100 choices of where he wants to spend his money. That's what a buyer's market means. That means the buyer can pick. And in college basketball, it is a buyer's market for the coaches, meaning there are thousands of players who want to play, but there are not thousands of available roster spots. So they have a choice of who to pick. So you got to build, when you build a relationship with somebody, you got a better chance of getting them to choose you because you have that relationship more than it is just your skill. Now, if you're a player whose skill level is so high that it doesn't matter, you don't need to build a relationship, then you actually don't even need this video. But this is for the players, those of you who do. It's most of you will. That doesn't mean you don't have potential to become great, but it means that there's a buyer's market. There are other players out there who have your skill set. You got to be able to build a relationship so that they think of you other than think of that guy who they don't have a relationship with. And the seller's market would be, let's say you walk in the store and there's 10 people trying to buy something, only one person selling things. It's the seller's market because the seller has a choice of who to take the money from. Then they can raise the prices. And that's how we get monopolies in business, and that's a whole other conversation. So anyway, build a relationship with whoever that coach is. You want to build a relationship so that they know your name on top of knowing your game. The third thing you need to do when you contact this coach, first thing impression that you need to make on that coach is you need to get their attention. And a basketball team coach can listen to what you say all day, but until they see you play, they're not really going to believe anything that you say. So include a video when you first contact. You don't have any video, you need to go get some video. If you are a parent watching this video, you need to be going to your child's games and filming the games. And then you need to make a highlight video. So this is how it goes. When you contact the coach, the first thing you want to do is get their attention with a highlight video. And when I say a highlight video, I'm talking like 2 minutes tops, maybe 3 minutes if you're spectacular. 2 to 3 minutes tops of your child's highlights. Please spare us the rap music, the trendy rap music that's out now. Less than 5 years from now, nobody's going to want to hear that. Do not put rap music in your highlight video. You can put a track. Like if you want to put a beat in the background, do that. But don't make the music overpower the video. Make the content be the king of the video. So make it very low, the music. No rap, no lyrics. Keep the lyrics out of the video, especially the profanity. No coaches want to hear that. They're not going to want to play that over and over again. So just keep it simple. A highlight video highlighting your child's best skills. Do not put free throws in your highlight video. Everybody can make free throws, and nobody puts missed free throws in a highlight video. So making a free throw in your highlight video, nobody cares. So keep the free throws out of your highlight video. I don't care what level of player you are. Highlights, 2 to 3 minutes. Include that in the video. Make it a YouTube link, which they can watch right there. They can click on that and see it right through their email. If they're using something like Gmail, they can see it immediately. So put your highlights in there. Tell them who you are, giving your name, your location, what school you go to, what year you are or what year you were born, whichever one matters more. Usually just what year you are, when you plan on graduating. You can put some academic information like if you took any scholastic aptitude test, the SAT or the ACT, if you are NCAA eligible. And these are things that you need to know. You players, you parents, when you reach out to a school, you can look up the NCAA eligibility rules on the NCAA website. This is work that you need to do ahead of time. Don't leave it to the coaches to do it, because if you're a player, if you're one of 1,000 players that coach can choose from, why would they want to do extra work to figure out if you're eligible? Why don't I just go talk to the next guy who's already done the work, who can do the exact same things you can do on the court, and I'll just get him because it's less work for me. So unless you're a blue chip recruit, the coach is not going to do extra work that you should be doing for yourself to get you on the team. So you need to do that work. Make the job easy for them. Make it easy for them to choose you by putting you on the team, by doing that work ahead of time. Find out if you're NCAA eligible, whatever tests you need to take, whatever classes you need to have taken in high school to make sure you're eligible as a freshman to play. You do that, all that stuff ahead of time. Put it in your email that you're eligible. Put what teams you play for, what high school, what AAU team if you're part of the AAU program. Also put your stats. If you have relevant stats and if they're somewhat verifiable, make sure you put the verifiable stats in there and put a highlight video there. Let the coach know who you are, what your intentions are. Why is it that you're sending me an email? I want to play for your school. I'm going to be graduating XYZ. I've already applied. I've already enrolled. Whatever it is your situation is, you want to start a conversation. Whatever it is you actually want. And you figure that out. I can't tell you what you're supposed to want. So let the coach know in the email. This should be a 1-paragraph email. Who you are, where you're from, stats, NCAA eligible, when you graduate, what it is you want, and what you want them to do. Make sure this is a very important point. When you make this email and you send it to the coach, let the coach know what action you would like them to take next. Because if you just give me information in the email and you don't ask me to do anything, and there's no call to action, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm glad this guy sent me this email, but he didn't ask me to do nothing. So next, you got to make it clear what it is you want them to do. Ask them, hey, can we have a conversation? A good way to get a call to action is to ask a question. Because if you ask somebody a question, what you're doing is opening a dialogue and you're asking them to respond to the question. So when they respond to the question, now you got a conversation going. You get to kind of open them up, see how they're thinking, what they're feeling. Maybe they don't have spots. Maybe they're interested. Maybe they want to see a full game video. This brings me to my next point. You need to have a full game video ready, but don't send that in the first email. Just put the highlight in the first email. If they're interested, they'll ask you for a full game. Because if I don't like your highlight video, I don't care about your full game video. And I'm not watching a whole game of a player I don't like. So I got to see your highlight first. If I like it, then I'm going to ask you for the full game. And if I like the full game, then we go to the next step. If I don't like the full game, then we drop off there. And then let's say that happens to you, move on to the next school. Choose the next school to contact. Remember, in college basketball, there are hundreds and thousands of colleges, but you can only play for one college at a time. You only need one college to believe in you for you to get on, for you to get a spot. So if one college passes on you, then you move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You ask 100 colleges, can you play for them? Eventually, one of them's going to say yes. So all you got to do is just keep going through them, and this is like doing homework. You got to do this work ahead of time. Don't wait till school about to start next week, and you like, damn, I don't know what school I'm going to play for. I haven't done any work. So these are the things you need to be doing right now. Making this video in late May. It'll probably come out sometime in June. These are things you need to be doing now so that when August comes around or next year comes around, if you happen to be about to be a senior in high school, you have this work done already. And if you're a parent, these are things you can start doing to help your child and enroll your child in this process, because your child needs to start taking the reins from you parents. By the time they're 17, 18, they want to play in college, they need to be doing more of the work than you're doing. That's just my opinion. And the next thing, once you've gotten that conversation, you got the dialogue started with that coach, you're going to want to have a conversation. You're going to want to get on the phone with them. If they're local, you want to somehow, some way arrange to meet them. Maybe if you're a child, you might not be able to meet the college coach. But if you're a parent, your parent may be able to meet the coach. Or get on the phone and have a conversation. Hey, what type of players are you looking for? Do you think my son or my daughter might be a fit for your program? What is it that my son or daughter will need to do between now and X time, whenever it is you plan on getting in college, that could make this work? What is it you would need from us? Hey, when's a good time you could come out and check us out playing? Here's our schedule. Would you be able to come check out a game? These are things that you can put yourself out there to the college coach about. So all you players, this is another thing. When you're contacting the school, if you have no video and you have no way of getting any video, your only thing really at that point, in my opinion, is you have to walk on. Because if I send the email and I say I'm the superstar player and I can do this, that, and the third, a coach is not going to believe any of that, because anybody can send him an email saying anything. Until I see you, I'm not going to believe nothing that you said. So if you're in high school, get video. It's 2015. Everybody got a camera phone. If you're in high school and none of your parents are helping you, you're on the team, you're going to be a senior next year, pay one of your friends $5 a game to film the game on his phone. The whole game, every minute you in, film you. Pay them to do it, because that video is everything to your future. You need video of you playing well in a basketball game. That will help you get on. That's your resume right there. You don't have video, then I'm not going to believe nothing that you say. So video is pivotal, very important. You don't have it, you got to walk on. See my video that I did about walking on to a college team, already made that. So those are the things you need to do if you are in high school and you want to go play in college. Like I said, this is the technical side of it. These are the things you actually need to do technically to get in, above and beyond actually having game to get attention. These are the steps that you need to take. Any questions any of you got that I didn't cover, leave it in the comments. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day.